Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the podcast. We are live once again. Let's go. Today we're about to talk about PSYOPs. Why
Right.
we need better PSYOPs, man. We need better ones.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so we became them. That's the title of the podcast. And
Yeah.
yeah, what's coming up for you, Ryan?
So, through a funny stream of coincidences, this topic kind of got formulated.
Yeah,
Um, like through memes and whatnot. I forgot what it was about to me, but it had a lot to do with
fake
the
Messiah.
that the fake messiah. Oh yeah, that was what it was about. It's getting too predictable, and I'm like, listen, if let's imagine if we're all gonna be sheep anyway to some form. At least give me a quality shepherd.
Right?
Not some fucker that just graduated in, manipulation or whatever the fuck. Just
It's
show
funny
some
because
respect.
he actually broke down the Raelian, the alien cult way back
Uh-huh.
when. So he actually knows about cults. And so
Sure.
he created one.
Yeah.
But anyway, what is a psyop, Ryan? So psyop is a psychological operation, right? It's meant to
Okay.
influence people's minds, behaviors, emotions. And often the target doesn't even know that they're being
Right.
psyoped, right?
Yeah.
So it's used in marketing and military and
Huh.
cults and memes nowadays, probably also as a psyop.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What is the most unexpected psyop that we've experienced?
Mm, mm. Well, I was thinking about this idea because, we have Ferris who creates these subliminals for our group. And,
Yeah.
we're just thinking about like how we're consciously creating subliminals that, you know, hypnotize us. But what if someone puts in like one little affirmation in there that throws someone's brain off balance or
Yeah.
something like this? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like
Yeah.
how it's like weaponized ads, probably. We weaponize archetypes, that's for sure, right? So we do it very differently. That a lot of light workers are still playing in the sandbox, of
Right.
self-love and solar plexus journaling, and but I think it's not like they trained us to be too nice, I feel like, as healers, because I mean, they told you that your rage was trauma, that your
Right.
lust was a problem, that your
Mm.
visions were all delusions and stuff like this. That your rebellious nature was you being immature or whatever.
Right.
So that was the original psyop. So we need to wake up and realize that if we don't design the mind virus, you're infected by someone else's. So we have to like become the glitch in a sense. You got to
That's
become the
becoming
the
our own
vibe shift.
psyop. It kind of sounds
Absolutely.
like you also was saying to be what's the word I'm looking for? Optimistically delusional. Like going
Mm,
beyond believing your own hype. It's literally
absolutely.
being that, right?
Totally, because then there's no resistance, right?
And then there's no resistance. Huh.
Mm,
Hmm. Then there would be no resistance. But wouldn't that also mean, Sumit, that you're basically brainwashing yourself towards a goal, regardless of whether something is being seen as successful or not?
mhm.
Which could also
Totally.
mean that there has been cases where we as human beings, and I'm speaking as myself to myself, that there has been cases where I have went beyond self-sabotage and basically created a negative spiral downwards, causing manipulation to happen,
Yeah.
causing sign-offs to be easier for me to, be manipulated by.
Right.
Right? Fucking
I mean,
hell.
we built an actual mystery school that teaches us how to possess our own reality. So, it's we are kind of the psyop. We are the message,
Right.
we're the psychedelic you need in a sense.
Well, it's the same thing with the bolt cutter ritual, right?
The
That
prayer,
I
yeah, yeah.
I'm exactly. I'm not gonna go into it too much, but it's like the prayer ends with nothing will ultimately bind me. Paraphrasing, of course.
Yeah,
Nothing will ultimately bind my soul. I am of source. And if you're not of it, be gone harmlessly. Leave now. Spirits of deception, delusion, delay, etc.
yeah,
Beautifully written, by the way, Suman. And what I have noticed is all those who are not of source, who are working with darker forces, stay the
yeah.
fuck away from me.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's a
if what
nice
Ryan
thing.
said just now, if that scares you, you're still programmable, buddy, right? You're really in the psyop, in fact,
Yeah,
because we are actually tapped in. Like Primal Sutra is basically like the way to intentionally brainwash yourself to win,
right,
to thrive, right? So we kind of flipped the script on him.
right.
Have you seen the last meme I posted, Ryan G, on Instagram on
That's a good
the
one. I don't
Primal
always fit the
Sutra one?
premise wrong. I need to start removing a lot of people. Let's see, let's see. From Sutra.
So the one that's like, when someone tells me to be realistic and I end up going into a rant mode. And the guy is
Ah,
basically
yeah.
saying this entire world is built on fantasy, synthetic emotions in the form of
Yeah,
pills.
but it is true. Fantasy, also known as vision, everything starts with a vision. Whether the vision affects you positively or negatively is besides the point. But this world has been built on the vision of great men. Whether
Mm,
these men are good or terrible, that doesn't
yeah.
really matter. It has been built upon their vision and upon the backs of those who, whether they liked or not, have fallen in them, right?
Right.
And again, the reason why mystery schools like us exist are or is because we want to cut off all that bullshit and decide for ourselves what's good for us. You don't get to sell me poison, motherfucker.
Mm, right. I've been watching this show called Pantheon, and basically there's like a sad girl, and she's kind of her soul is like kind of caught up with losing her father, and his
Uh-huh.
father's, well, spoiler alert, but the father is basically his consciousness is uploaded into a cloud, right? So he's not really dead. He's available in the cloud. And she's
Mm.
standing at like almost this threshold between these logarithm people who manipulate. They are the psyop basically, and their
Right.
location is like all the way at the North Pole, where nobody would try to find them. You know what I mean? So it's
It is
like,
cold.
yeah, it is cold. It's a cold world out there. So yeah, this it's all happening through emojis also, which is very interesting. Like, I mean, not the entire show, but there's like a lot of like crosstalk. And I just realized as I was watching the show, like emojis aren't those like digital egregores, right?
Like,
Like,
I mean, emotion,
because
an
they're
emoji represents an
emoticons, right?
emotion. Exactly. And emotion is in the world, energy, emotion.
It's a
So
con
yeah,
emotion, emoticon, right? Yeah.
right.
Yeah. It's amazing because we went from hieroglyphics to emojis.
To some extent, yeah. Have you
But yeah,
seen the
this
emojis that are based on the design of sigils? Hmm.
designer
I
sigils.
no, no, they're based on the design of sigils.
Ah,
I would say to some extent that it might be true, but I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. If
there's a lot
I,
of conspiracy theorist people out there, bro, like doing this full time. You know
but
what I mean?
so I'm a little bit biased in this case, right? Because I like using emojis and I don't want it to be true. You know what I
I
mean?
know,
It's, you
but
know,
I don't really know what to think of that. Like when you take ChatGPT and you flip it and it's like the Israeli star or whatever. Like I think people are looking so much into it that they're gonna find it. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's kind of a case of that. It's like their mind is so scared or frantic that it creates conspiracies out of thin air too. So yeah,
Well, and that's also a psyop in and of itself because you psych
right.
yourself up with false
Totally.
information, and at some point it's gonna be real because you're either gonna manifest it or you're gonna find a version that most aligns with you. And I'm like, you could
All
use this
defeat
energy
is
better.
psychological besides death, right? So,
All of
yeah,
you is psychological except death.
right.
Death.
Hey, 1111. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
let me see who's in the live chat. Okay, Ellie's here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody else? We got any questions, guys, about PSYOPs? This is an interesting
Or
topic for
other.
sure. Or other, yeah.
Or I'm just gonna read up out some comments on Zoom from TXL. Bible says Christ is within you and you and in you. Within you and in you. Think he only exists as an outside person. Then you failed the test. Or if you, okay. Something about New Zealand, which I'm gonna skip. Calling oil and gas fossil fuels is a psyop. Come from
It's a schizo
fossils.
rabbit hole. Absolutely, brother.
Yeah.
Schizo rants are so prevalent. Totally. I
Pragmatists,
mean,
whatever polarity of duality they
I
choose
think
here. Yeah.
like this isn't about deception, right? This is about spiritual warfare by design. So it's almost like
Uh-huh.
mythcraft instead of witchcraft, right? So first of all, we have to define our core frequencies. Like, what is one truth that you die for, Ryan G?
What is one truth that I would die for? The innocence of children. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's your signal. So that like psyops run on frequency, right? So if your message isn't emotionally charged and metaphysically tuned, it won't possess anyone, right? Your frequency
Right.
becomes the virus. So yeah, if that is the innocence of children, that means you yourself are in that frequency, in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And many times I forget I'm an adult, to be honest.
Me too, bro.
Many a times, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I think this whole adulthood shit has to be a psyop. I feel like I've been sold a lie.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
my
But
life
I
would be
think
would huh? What's up?
I think psyops need anchors too, because like recurring symbols or phrases kind of like go into the subconscious a lot. So
Okay.
we have to make them kind of weird and potent. Like for instance, we use the violet flame in our path working, and there's so many imaginative ways you can use that. You know, you can use it obviously just as a visualization. You can imagine yourself kind of like spraying your altar with it. You with the power of creativity, you can get yourself out of victimhood. I truly believe that because when you can be weavable and adaptable in your own mind, also in your own body, I feel like that's important too. Too many people are rigid in their bodies, I think, as they grow older. And so they also get a stubborn mind. So once they get a more of a flexible body or they work on the mobility aspect of things, you start noticing new doors opening and new
Right.
opportunities coming in. At least this is what I've noticed because when I'm just doing the gym without warming up, I feel like crap, bro. I feel
Yeah.
so different, than when I actually warm up, take my time with it, and then lead into it and then wind down. Um, Something powerful to that. So rig your rituals. That's what we mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I see.
What did Mathis write? Advised for influence, caution is advised. So you won't become a TI
I have no clue
as
what you're talking about.
uh,
Ask me a shark who
as
can
me a
fly.
shark who can fly.
Oh, you're rhyming. Got it. Okay, sure.
Okay.
As fast,
Okay,
Kai,
bars,
fly. Right.
bars. Right. Okay.
Huh.
Uh, mm,
Let's make this interesting. Am
yeah.
I caught in a side option I'm not aware of?
Is Ryan caught in a psyop he's not aware of? No.
Oh! That's not what I expected. I expected some drama. Huh.
Yeah.
That.
Well, again, I'm just testing on your own, like, certainty levels. So probably it's like, yeah, you're not if you don't think you are, in a sense. You know
I
what I
see.
mean?
But could that have been based on the current weird situation?
Hmm.
I see.
Yeah, quite
So
possibly.
that so that means that the people I work with could have sold me a lie.
Yeah, exactly. TXL has he knows who's psyoping. So there's no point in like even asking because you have some idea of it.
I know I have
You
a
know?
very good idea.
Right, right, exactly.
The
That's
goddamn motherfuckers.
so I
This
think
ridiculous thing.
every great psyop, I think, breaks our old self and it needs like a
Mm.
triggering truth, right? Like what pain are they running from, or like what myth are they starving for? Right? Asking that question can really help you understand like what a moment that kind of destabilizes or activates someone.
Interesting. So as you said what you said on the psyop is the thing that breaks your character,
Mm,
basically, right? Completely
yeah.
breaks your character fundamentally. I look back at all the moments in my life where I built myself up only to have a situation where something just broke me. And it was either a
Yeah.
girl or someone of authority. And things would break with the girl because I've placed her in a
I think those are most common ones. Well, I'm just saying that because mother, father, right?
right,
Authorities,
right.
father, girlfriends or exes, whatever, right? Like
Exactly,
that.
exactly, exactly. I mean, even at my biggest, I got destroyed by a girl that's shorter than me. And it's like, I have got to work
Then what?
on
Shorter
those
than you
things.
said?
Shorter than me, yes.
Ah,
So
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. Psychological warfare.
this
Yeah.
is war that I am not aware of. And then I look back and I realize there are definitely some people in the authority that are trying to break me.
Mm,
For whatever reason, be it with malicious intent or to their own insecurity, doesn't matter, but I'm
mm.
aware that they're doing this.
Right. And
And
I think that's what separates like Primal Sutra, because that's
what's
like
up?
mind games, and then we're creating like a myth technology in a sense, right?
Yeah, it's the level at which they want to play at. I want to
Mm,
play at the most grand level that I can, which would be
right.
energetic. They want
Mm,
to bitch around for whatever fucking reason. And then they're still not happy that we're actually pretty far on schedule and it's whatever. Sometimes it's okay to have haters. Fuck them.
yeah. Everybody's craving attention, but I think the real like thing I'm craving right now is understanding and clarity.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because there's too much noise out there. Like, how what do we really believe, right?
exactly right. That's exactly what I feel at my current clients. It's way too much noise.
Yeah. Too much
Way too much.
extra stuff. It's just like let's not go on to so many side quests and let's like fucking follow the plan towards the
Yeah,
play our way to the finish line, as we say, right? So
yeah. If a basic solution is good enough, the next thing either becomes we never do it or we do it next time. Who cares? Let's go. It's really not that hard.
so how does somebody, let's say,
What's
brainwash
up?
themselves, Ryan? Or what's the formula for people?
If I look back at how I did brainwash myself was, well, one, anything that either empowers me or depowers me on a consistent basis and I believe in it, that's how it starts.
Yeah.
So if I believe that I am worthy, I start to act like that. I start to become of that frequency, just becoming the character because I'm doing what it takes to be that and staying in that frame forever and for always.
Mm.
Comparing myself like, I don't know, I believe we did a character check compared to when I was with my initial ex, and it's like a world of difference. A
Yeah.
world of difference.
Yeah, I
Did I
like
answer
what
your
Mathis
question?
said. Yeah, I also like what Mathis said about being a mind loop breaker, because that's really what we're doing is like, so the first step would probably have to be you shock the system in some way,
Yeah.
right? Hit yourself where it hurts, basically. Like that's
Yeah.
a kind of a rebirth moment. And then that's when your psyop kicks in. So
Right.
a new role you take on, a new identity, a new path. It's not that I don't know who I am, but more like I am this. So you're like
Right.
stating what you are. Instead of trying to be a reader, you claim I'm a reader.
Isn't
Yeah.
it funny that the moment you find out you're good at something, it's almost like you're remembering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. True
And
that.
whereas when you're depowered, it's almost like you know that you have the potential, but it's like some puzzle is missing or a puzzle piece is missing or something.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
I
Yeah.
mean, so the concept that I'd be willing to die for, Ryan, is that
Oh yeah.
flow state would be the way that I reach God.
Hmm. Like the Buddha.
Yeah.
Like, didn't Buddha in his human form do one of the most difficult devotions or something where he would walk and would only drink and eat when it came across his path, and that's it. That's tough.
Yeah.
And he had to do whatever pilgrimage from one side of the country to the next.
Yeah.
Many of monks have died, and it's only until he surrendered to the infinite
Mhm.
is when he received infinite blessings. And thus, the rest is
Yeah.
history.
He did the ultimate imitation was he pretended to be already dead, right? No
All right.
attachments, no hunger, no name. Yeah.
And speaking of imitations, isn't that what a psyop is? It's
Yeah,
tricky. It's like a mimic.
he's the original psyop against ego. That's wild.
Right, because the ego wants control.
Mhm.
And it probably relates to the situation I'm dealing with.
You
And
see,
because it
most
wants
people imitate success. The Buddha imitated extinction, dead man's pose, right? Yeah, Savasana.
listen, the dead man's pose. Interesting.
Mm. Side of the gray Jedi, middle path. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. It's difficult, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
it's not for me just yet. Maybe I'll do it sometime. Anyway, last 7 minutes. Let's see. This has been a short episode. What can we conclude from what we've said, and what can the viewers take away from this, Sumit?
Hmm. Let me ask the Nexus. I would say be very intentional with the way that you brainwash yourself.
Yes.
Most people chase improvement, but you got to understand that your pain is not a prison for you, right? It's something that you have to forge. And sometimes starving the ego is the first ritual you got to take. And the greatest psyop is becoming who you were before the world told you who to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let go of those, the things that they named you or the labels they stuck on you. Take off all
Yeah.
those labels and decide for yourself what the real labels mean. Rain clean. Yep, absolutely.
Clean,
Clean,
clean.
clean.
Right. Interesting. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Sumit. I'm gonna use
Buddha
them.
is the origin of all science. I like that. That's actually dope.
Yeah. But good. Last 5 minutes. We are headed to Sedona. It's very likely going to be August. I've yet to get my visa, etc. Need to submit.
Yep.
Yep.
It might change dates actually, now that because I'm headed to Europe
Right.
recently.
Prague, right?
Prague, yes.
Yeah.
Prague
Should have
and
come
then
with.
to small town. Maybe at some point you can hop on, like maybe for some time, yeah.
Let's see what
It'd be
this
cool to
this has
see
been
you
a
there. You could join,
Yay!
says
Fuck
Memphis.
it.
Sweet.
Fuck it.
Hell yeah,
It's gonna
everybody's
be
coming.
fuck it,
The
might as
whole
well,
tribe.
do a
Uh,
quick weekend prog or something.
yeah,
Yeah. You gotta be impromptu with these kind of things, but yeah.
right.
The reason why the dates might change is a little situation came up that needed to be handled a little bit more personally, and Sumit is there to do whatever he needs to do in order to, in essence, save a family at minimum. Because whatever's happening there, yeah, cannot be done online, and we're doing this for free. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. Meaning we're paying out of pocket to make sure that we're at a certain location and helping people, especially in the spiritual sense. I'm not gonna delve into details, but in the words, in the way of Americans, the way they say it, shit is scuffed.
Hmm.
Right? That being said,
That's the biggest psyop. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
But let's be honest, it's our responsibility to be in the situation that we're in,
Mm.
and whether we like it or not, sometimes we're one of the few in the world that can do what we can do, and
Mm.
without going too much into it, it's a mission by itself. And I'm hoping we can draw a straight line from point A to point B and just get the job done, and then have fun
Yeah,
later. But yeah.
right
Anyway,
on.
it's in my mind it's still in August. I'm assuming we're still gonna do August. And if we are gonna move it, consider the tickets early bird, and we'll just move it a little bit later. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anything else would be again, this is just a podcast. Whatever you heard here, take it as entertainment,
right.
as a grain of salt. Do not be an idiot. If you accidentally heard a spell or ritual, consult with us first before you do it, because fucking
Yeah,
I
we
don't
don't
know
want to
who
have to
you're.
save your ass last minute or whatever. But
No,
yeah,
you
I
know how
actually got
frustrating.
attacked by a hungry ghost almost before this, so I had
Yeah,
to
yeah,
like
yeah.
quickly like shake it off, call one of my guides.
We're not gonna go
Done.
into this podcast. One, we don't have the
Right,
time,
right.
and they don't
We're
have to
not going
know.
to. Yeah, right, right. So anyway,
Uh,
guys, thank you so much. And we are here to help you get rid of every false identity and help you step into the real self. You're not really stepping in, you're surrendering to the real self. And that's what we're going to teach you how to do. Absolutely. Let's
exactly.
get it. Upward Spiral Gang. See you
Maybe
guys
after
on
we
the
just
other
sing
side.
again.
Peace, peace.